exploration. So, and she's here with us today to handle this first event, please. Can we type an exciting welcome remark for her to read in the chat? You can say, hello, we're excited. You're ready to hear what you're about to say to us. So she has also held several leadership positions across different strata of her engagement. Dr. Nyabo is somebody you really want to hear from, and she's right here with us. So welcome, Dr. Nyabo, and we are so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for joining this session. Thank you so much for joining this session. And we are really happy that you agreed to be here with us. Please, Dr. Nyabo, over to you, please.
Today, we are looking at crafting your career trajectory, building a fulfilling professional journey. And one principal thing, I'm grateful to the organizers of this program. I think you got to know me through Mr. Ekene. And I'm trusting God that at the end of today's interaction, we would have moved a step further into our career and then finding our pathway so that we'll be fulfilled at the end of the day, because that's the primary thing. If after running through one's career and the person doesn't have a sense of fulfillment, it's more or less like a disappointed journey. Yeah. So today we are looking at this topic given to me, and I want to say some things principally. Just the same way we say that people are called, especially those called into religious settings, that's the same way that we are also called into various professions to be the best of it. And when we are the best, obviously the world will be the best and we'll be happy in this life. Yeah, so let me start with the definition of what career is. Yes. It's an occupation undertaken for a significant period of someone's life with opportunities for progress. It is a profession for which one translates, and it's undertaken as a lifetime calling. And like I've always said, I love this word, calling. So the basic thing is for us to know how to find out where we ought to fly in and explore as well. And I would always encourage everyone, why this career thing is very important is that it determines your future. And it's not just what you do today and tomorrow you're out of it. I understand we have career change. We'll still get to that later on. But it's something that is going to take principally your entire working life. So we really need to be careful in carving out what's our career end of the day. If you choose a career where you can provide value, you see, one thing is that there are quite a lot of persons doing one career or into one career or the other. And then amongst all of this multitude, you still see 1 or 2, 3% shining in their field. So it's a thing of where can I provide value? Because it's actually the value that you provide that will make people to get attracted to you. And by extension, that would actually make you successful. Because once you see that you are able to, satisfy people's wants, you're able to get to do what people want or get to meet their needs, provide value for them. There's this sense of satisfaction that you derive from it. So now if a man is or a lady is into what he is carved out to do, there is every possibility that you will be able to provide enough value that will attract or bring traffic towards your direction. And by so doing, you will be satisfied doing that. But now in this life or in the world today, especially in our country, we have a lot of people doing quite a lot of things, but they are not shining in it. And principally it's because many times people just do what they just see others doing, not necessarily because they are carved for it. I once met a medical doctor, before we look into the trajectory, I once met a medical doctor, and each time you come to the clinic, this guy is always signing. And I'm like, why are you always signing all the time? He said, I don't really fancy what I'm doing. You can imagine this guy has spent how many years in medical school, and at this point, he doesn't fancy what he's doing. And then when I tried to dig further, he told me that he was really very intelligent and his parents felt he should do sciences. He did that. And afterwards, they insisted he must read medicine because he was very, very intelligent. But as you can see, that's not actually the career he was carved out for. And there are some persons that have also done what they are not supposed to do or what they are not carved out to do. And after some time, they begin to have a sense of depression and all the rest of them. So that's why it's very, very important to like find your trajectory around that. So the first one is, I want to encourage every young person to learn after the parents. Whatever your parents are doing, I think that's the very first part of your career building. Because for some persons, maybe you're born into a family that they make clothes. Your mom sews clothes, or you're born into a family where your dad is a mechanic or whatever, I want to talk about the so-called maybe degrading profession in quotes, but they are not. And then you as a child, you're like, I don't want to do this. I just want to go to school. The truth of the matter is that that particular thing your parents are doing, whether they are trading or whatever, then that thing they are doing, it's part of education. And the earlier you get to learn from them, the better for you. Because it's going to help. See, even if you let's say your parents are into trading and then you end up reading any course in the university at all, that trading they are doing would actually help you. I bet a young person that said he's reading medicine, but he told the dad that, see, I'm not going to practice the kind of medicine you're practicing. Meanwhile, the dad works in a teaching hospital, a career teaching hospital. And when I tried to ask for that, he was like, I want to do medical business. My interest is in importation of medical equipment and stuff like that. And, and then the guy is reading medicine. So what does that tell us? Coincidentally, his own parents are not into trading, business. But it's possible that someone whose parents are into trading could read medicine, and at the end of the day, he tries to find businesses around medicine outside just taking care of patients, having like clinical times with patients. Okay. Now, I once listened to Tony Elumelu where they were asking him on an interview session, and they were asking him what actually inspired you into, creation of wealth like this, because there are quite some other persons that are working in the bank and nobody knows about them. They are just satisfied getting the salary from the bank and that's all. And he said the mom is a businesswoman in Asaba, trading, and that trade aspect of the mom's life was what inspired him. So he was not just looking at the bank, UBA bank, whatever. He was looking beyond just working in the bank and earning salary. He was looking at creating wealth at the end of the day. So I really want to encourage everyone here, whatever your parents are doing, that's the first part of your career. Make sure you learn it somehow, even if you don't end up doing what they are doing now, or okay, even if you end up doing what they are doing now, definitely after going to school, you will do it in a better way. Yes, you will do it in a more dignified way, and that's it. That's one. And secondly, even if you end up not doing what they are doing now, you will get some ideas, some clues from what you learned from them. So that's actually what's helping Tony. It's not like he's doing what the mom did then, but a lot of wisdom and ideas he got, it's from the woman's business, and he's doing well at the moment. So the next point over your trajectory towards finding your career path, your best subject. Your best subject is actually your best option. Yeah. It's actually your best option of what to do. Because, number one, if you just, for some persons, they're like, I want to do this. I want to become this. And then you don't have a kind of a true light over what you are doing well at already. You're going to miss the track. So if I'm into, I do well in chemistry, I should be looking at courses around chemistry. If I do well in a particular course, even in the university, I should be looking at a career around that particular field and not just, I just want to do this. okay, example, for some of us in schools where you have maybe people that read engineering coming to your school to motivate you to study this, to study engineering, or to study. Most times it's as if these are the four, in fact, these four courses are the major courses that people are aware of right from secondary school. And that's medicine, okay, nursing, and then engineering, and then you have those in law and accountancy. That's just principally this five. That's the major ones that people want to go for. And then you see people maybe putting on their whites, and you're like, I just want to be this. But you look at the subjects that you offer in school, you're not best at them. You're not doing so well in those subjects, but you're still bent on, doing this in the university or charting this career path in school. You just want to, follow that path because you feel the people here they make money, they are doing so well. That's why you want to get into that field. You may miss it at the end of the day because you may have a lot of struggles to get through with in life. So I want to encourage you. The subjects that you are doing well at, it's a normal thing in our climb when a child is not doing well, let's say in mathematics or in mathematics, and then the parents, or in physics, the parents will employ a private teacher to tutor the person in mathematics and physics so that the person will do well in mathematics. That's okay, that's fine. Now you're trying to enhance and help build the aspect that the child is not good at. Now, what happens to the aspect that the child is good at? Because that particular child may be good at other things. That child may be good at fine art. Yes. That child may be good at government. That child may be good at other things. But you don't just care about the things the child is good at. You're just interested in the things that the child is not good at. And by extension, now you just pay so much for the child to get this particular area where the child is not doing well at. And everything, you just sideline where the child is doing well. I think that's not the best approach towards building a career or building the child's career. So this particular aspect is for parents. Just find a way, that aspect that the child is good at, find a way to project it. That's where the child is actually supposed to be in. And even if you employ a lesson teacher because you need these basic subjects to get into the high school, there is no problem. Or please find a way to magnify the area where the child is very good at. Now, the next one is to daydream. Now, when it comes to daydreaming, I want to say that every young person that is still thinking of the career to chart, even when you are already charting a particular career, there's every need that you get into daydreaming. Okay, you need to ask yourself, what is that thing that I love doing with less stress? That thing that I can do, and people are always satisfied. They always want to see me do that. They like what I do, and after doing it, I have this sense of fulfillment, this sense of satisfaction within me. I think that's the place you need to start looking at, because sometimes you may even read a particular course and you notice that when you practice this course, you add so much energy. I'm not saying you should get to the point where you become lazy. You're just looking for something that wouldn't take any iota of energy from you. No, but there are things that you do with ease. There are things that when you do them, you have this sense of satisfaction. I think you need to daydream on those things. And when you do that, it will help you to find the area that you need to go through. Now, when you think your trajectory is getting clearer, then you need to ask yourself this question: what problem can I solve, or what problem can I even identify in my area? This career thing is a thing of, when you are still younger, the spectrum is very broad. Yeah, the spectrum is very broad. But as you get older and as you advance in your studies, the whole spectrum start getting streamlined, and then you can pick one or two. It's just like, let's say those in secondary school, you have sciences, you have art classes, you have commercial class. And this thing, when we say commercial class, it's so broad. And then when we say art class, it's so broad. When you say sciences, it's so broad. Now, when you go beyond the secondary school level and get into the higher institution, you now see that within these sciences, you can have faculty of engineering, you have faculty of maybe physical sciences, you have faculty of biological sciences, you have faculty of agric science, so big. Now, when you get to each of these faculties, you now get to departments, courses in those departments. And then when you even finish your first degree, you still see that, man, this thing gets wider, and then you begin to choose where to master and stuff like that. Now, that tells you that as you proceed in this, your career path, and as it gets clearer to you, the next thing you need to ask yourself is there any problem around this career that I can solve? Yeah. Is there any problem I think I'm seeing, and I think with this, my career, I can solve that problem? Now, that would help you to like get to that particular area, you understand? And then you cannot get to a point of solving problem where you have not taken mastery of that particular area or that particular career. Now, let me give you an example. I'm a Christian. I'm going to quote a little of the scriptures here. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 28, the Bible said something like God saying, after creating man, after he was done creating all that things, he now said, multiply, fill the earth, take dominion, and then take mastery, subject, take charge of the fishes of the sea, the birds of the air, and all the rest of them. What does that tell you? It points out to the fact that for every one of us, mastery cannot, we cannot exhibit excellence. In verse 31 of that same chapter, he now said, and God saw all that he has made, that it was excellent. Take mastery of that area. It's going to be difficult for you to excel. So it's when you have mastery of that and that's when you'll be able to find out, okay, I think there's a need in this particular field, and I think I can bridge that gap. And once you can bridge that gap, that's where you are able to give value to people, and then you bring traffic towards your direction, and people begin to say that, yes, this guy is successful, this lady, she's successful in what he or she does. So what I'm saying in essence is, as you grow in your area of calling or in your profession, things will get clearer, the spectrum will get narrower, and then you now begin to find yourself. This is actually where I'm supposed to be in. This is, well, okay, let me give an example. I'm a geologist now. And then you have people coming to read geology. And at the end of the day, not everybody that reads geology will be a professional in borehole drilling. Not everybody that read geology will be a professional in mineral exploration. Not everybody that read geology will be a professional in environmental management and stuff like that. So as you just grow in your studies or in your field, your path will be defined the more. Okay, and then I even got something. Someone once said that what struck me and made me get into the profession I am, or into what I'm doing in my profession, is what I saw in that same verse 28 of that Genesis. The person said that God said, replenish the earth. So I now saw that I could get into that. I don't know, but something just struck in me and I got into recycling. I saw recycling as an option. Even though I read chemical engineering, I was looking for a job. I didn't know what to do. But when I read that very verse, I saw replenish. So I now saw that, guys, as they are producing these plastic containers and we are just throwing them away, it's consumed waste, environmental hazards, I can get into recycling, and by so doing, I'll be replenishing those things instead of wasting those things. You know what? And then he got into what he's doing, recycling at the moment, and he has grown so big that he's able to employ people. So I think we need to find out what our calling is, and once you do that, and I'm giving us different ways to get this calling straight, and that's the trajectory. And then for the next one, you need to build yourself beyond your former school setting. Yes, you need to build yourself beyond your former school setting, in the sense that beyond just your normal classroom, there are things that you get yourself in. Okay, let's take for instance, you always have your phone, you go on Instagram, you just watch, clips of maybe those that are into comedy and stuff like that. That's all you do with your phone, with your Instagram. That's all you do with your YouTube and Facebook. But you know what? You can actually delve. Like I have one of my students that would always tell me that sometimes when I ask some questions in class, he will be the first to answer. I'll be like, "How did you get to know? How did you get to know this calculation? I'm about to get into it, and this guy already knows it." He will be like, I did that through YouTube. I've already watched some videos about it on YouTube, and I'm waiting for your class so that it will help me to like digest all I've watched." So beyond your normal classroom work, you need to use social media and also upgrade yourself. And that would also expose you to things that maybe your lecturer have never mentioned in class, things that are possible. Because it's possible that currently in Nigeria, those things are not obtainable in our client. But when you see that these things can be done in other clients, you now begin to look for a way to like export it into, or rather import it into your own client. And that would also make you unique in your own client. Then it's very, very important to get into apprenticeship. Yeah. In fact, let me even say something about this building yourself. I remember those days when I was in secondary, or let me say first, second year in the university, I didn't know anything about social media. It wasn't rampant then anyway. Or if I don't even know if it was really there at the time. So, and I just had this flair to get informed about the happenings in Africa. And one day I saw something, BBC Focus on Africa, a magazine. Do you know, after reading that magazine, I think I saw it in I can't remember who I saw that magazine with, maybe a family friend. After that day, then I was still in Abuja. So when I came back to Enugu, I was asking, where can I be getting this magazine? In fact, I even asked that our family friend there in Abuja, and the engineer told me that wherever they bring in newspapers and magazines, you will definitely find it there. So then, like every quarter, I will get to the depot where they bring in all the newspapers and magazines, and then I'll get there and I'll go and buy BBC Focus in Africa. And at the time I was doing that, quite a number of the people around me or my friends, they didn't know that. And that's the knowledge I was getting from BBC Focus in Africa helped me a lot, even in my discussion, when I want to discuss international politics at that young age, I will be able to feature very well and deliver as though I'm directly involved. So you need to build yourself beyond your classroom. That's just it. And then another thing is apprenticeship. You can learn directly or indirectly. I saw that should be about 2 days ago, where I think it's Hero. Yeah, Hero. They are starting, or they are launching an apprenticeship system, and they said they are collaborating with NUC. Yeah, NUC, and then I think Onisha Business School. That was my first time of hearing about Onisha Business School. I'm still trying to Google and find more about the Onisha Business School. And they said they want people to learn skills through apprenticeship, people in the university, because one problem we have about those going to higher institution is that we just teach us what you need to learn, but there's something like hands-on desk, and hands-on desk is the best method, best form of learning, because as you're doing it, you're becoming better and better in doing that particular thing. So I want to encourage us to get into apprenticeship. For every holiday you have in school, don't wait until you're going for your IT before you can go for hands-on desk. For every holiday you have in school, please find a way to get yourself engaged, especially in that your area, in that your field. Find something to learn. For some of us, we are always, I don't know, we are always so relaxed about applying for opportunities. Because each time there is opportunity here or there, you're like, maybe I'm not really qualified for it. Just give it a try, and you may be the lucky person. One of my mentees, she chatted me up. I was like, one, there was something I posted on a platform about a particular training. I just posted it casually and she saw it and then she cashed into it and applied. And it's possible there are other people that saw it and they never felt it was necessary. Are we going to get it? We may not get it. I should just apply. Now, after some months, she was called and said, you apply for so thing, come for the training. And the training is residential. So they took care of the accommodation space and then the training. So, and that training she has passed through have actually helped to build her and to also build her CV as well. So it's very, very necessary to see yourself. Don't always see that, I may not be able to get this. Please apply. You can get it. And if you see any opportunity for apprenticeship, whether it's by direct means or by indirect means, that means you're going to be chatting up with the person, telling the person what you're doing and stuff like that. Please go for it. I also want to encourage you to belong to associations. There are quite a lot of things that associations will do for you. It's going to expose you to opportunities. It's going to help you attend conferences, and there in conferences you will find contacts to collaborate with. I heard something today, and it may look as though it's just in Nigeria, but this particular information, I think I got it from somewhere in a documentary in US. And they said that the research says that about 8% of jobs that people get, it's by contact. About 80%. So when you think it's only obtainable in Nigeria, it's not just in Nigeria. Because it's when you have contacts with people that you actually, they will know what you can do. They will know your content and they will now be able to like call you for opportunities when they come up. But when you are just on your own, you will not be able to like get this information once they proper, because all these opportunities, they are very, very competitive. And once they come, just last within few days and it's over. So please, belong to associations, especially professional associations. It will expose you to opportunities. It will teach you things that you don't know. There are things that you will definitely not get from classroom. You're going to get it from attending conferences when you belong to associations. And then it's going to awaken the giants in you, because when you attend those conferences, you will see young people like you that are doing well, even irrespective of your age. Even if you're already advanced in your career, when you also attend professional conferences, you also see people that are in that area that have gone some milestones ahead of you, and it will help to like awaken the giant in you. Then the next one I want to talk about is find a mentor. Very, very important. Find a mentor, especially in the area that you want to grow in. If you want to grow in your profession proper, find a mentor in that area. But if you read a particular course and you want to grow in another area, find a mentor in that area. For some persons, they could have as much as 3 mentors, depending on what career path they are charting. It's possible that this particular mentor would help him in this, whereas this other mentor helps him in the other one, like that. So that at the end of the day, he will be able to have a balanced career chart in his own carved out area. Example, you could have a mentor that is a speaker, yes, and then you have a mentor that is a medical person. So you're like trying to like get what you can get from the speaker, because you want to be a public speaker when it comes to health. And then you now get what you can get from the other person that is directly involved in clinical activities. And that would help you to become the best that you can become. Then I want to also say that for some of us, it's possible you're already in a career path and you're thinking of changing. It's very, very possible. Irrespective of your age, you can change your career. Yes. And why do you need to change your career? Remember I said earlier on that the essence of this career path is that you'll be able to serve humanity. You'll be able to create value and be fulfilled. You can imagine if every one of us is charting our right career. Every one of us will be creating value in different areas, and this world will be a better place. Nigeria will be a better place. Everywhere will be a better place. So now when you feel that this thing I'm doing, I'm not so satisfied doing it, I want a change, then the first thing is that you need to be open to change. Let me tell you the truth. Change is actually growth. Yes, because if you are stuck in a career that you don't like, you will not be growing in it. You will be stuck there. But if you change, you will start growing in that one that you love or you can actually create value in. So once you want to change your career, the first thing you need to ask yourself is, what do I think I can do with ease and be able to provide value? Now, once you find that, please enroll on a training. There are a lot of free trainings. There are a lot of paid and unpaid ones online. And then if you have opportunity for the physical ones, also avail yourself to get through that training. It is during that training that you actually know or decide if I can actually run this particular career chart, yes or no. Can I actually do this? Yes, because by training, you've seen the possibilities around this. So you now decide whether you should proceed further or not. And then when you are done with training, the next thing you need to do is to start. Don't quit your old career immediately, please, because you need to be earning. You need to be earning. So you don't just quit immediately and jump into something else. So while you are doing that, you go for training. After your training, ask yourself, can I begin to do some pro bono stuff? And then as you're doing this pro bono, that would also help you to see how people are satisfied with what you are doing. Maybe let's say you are doing something, maybe anything actually, could be writing, could be anything. Just see how people are satisfied. And then the people around you, when you have assessed their satisfaction, now you can also now go ahead to use the social media or to use things like Fiverr, Upworks, and showcase yourself. You need to throw some light around you so that there will be visibility around, so that people can know that you offer this. And then once the demand begins to increase and increase, and this can actually provide you with the resources you need and you are satisfied doing it, that's the time that you begin to find a way to leave the old career and then delve into. I've seen people that were formerly biochemists, formerly into the medical world, they are now in IT world. So anything can be a change for you, but make sure that you are changing into what you love. Just invest in yourself first before you change. And with that, I think my time is exhausted. And if there are questions, I would like to answer. So that's it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Chinenye. You are quite articulate. That was an amazing speech and lecture, teaching. Anyway, it's like preaching in the church where we have to say amen. Thank you very much. So
You're
we are
welcome.
really running short of time. So let's quickly go into the Q&A session. If you have any question for Dr. Chinenye, you quickly present it so that she will do justice to that. Otherwise, we'll move over to the next session. So please, let's quickly go to questions. I'm sure everyone enjoyed this. So I actually have a question myself, ma'am.
Okay.
So my question is, considering the country, Nigeria, where it's headed money-wise, so if I have to choose between a career where I have to make lots of money, and it's not like it's the best thing I like to do for myself that will give me fulfillment, though, but there's money in this thing. And the country is not very good. We need to make more money. I need to make money. And it's confusing me. I don't know the one to just delve into. You didn't talk about the money aspect. So I want to know, when it comes to money, like, should I not? That kind of thing. So I want to know if you can tell us about how to choose between a career that is giving you money over fulfillment, maybe.
Yeah. Thank you, because I was sent a message that my time is up. That's why I rushed everything.
Yeah.
But when it comes to money, sincerely speaking, money is very, very important. I watched a video of a small boy singing "Money on my mind, money, money, money." But money is not satisfaction in its entirety. So you need to place your cards on the desk and ask yourself, what matters most to me? For some persons, what matters most to them is to help others build themselves. So if what matters most to you is money, please don't, you should be thinking about creating your own business. Yes. Because most times when you're on a salary scale stuff, it will never be enough. So if money is the principal thing, then you need to also look at the career that you are choosing. This career, but let me even say it. Every career has money in it. That was why I talked about daydreaming. Because not until you daydream, you will not see the aspects, that problem where you can provide solution and there will be cash flowing in that direction. So every career has money in it, but you just need to open your mind and see that. Okay, let me give an example. Lecturing. Let me use myself as an example. Lecturing. When we get to school, if you've gone through high institution here, you know that people that go for mathematics single honor, physics single honor, they are few. Am I right? They are usually few. So on a normal, you would think that the lecturers in those departments, since they don't have more students, that the whole thing will not be interesting. But the truth of the matter is that because they service virtually everybody in the university, especially those in the sciences, they service several faculties. Their textbook sells like wildfire and it fetches more for them. I don't know whether you're getting it.
Yes, I get
Somebody
that.
could say there's no money in lecturing, but another person saw that if I do mathematics, there are not much person reading mathematics, there are not much person reading physics. I will make it through writings. I will make it through even teaching. I can package online classes and people will purchase those classes. We all know about Udemy class. And, you can make money from this. So it's all about daydreaming and finding out where you can provide value in that profession. There is money, as far as I'm concerned, in every profession. But if you just follow the track like every other person, you will not see the money. But if you think through your mind, you will definitely see the problems. And then once you provide the solution, traffic will be drawn to your direction and you will earn the money.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Chineye. I believe that you stay back to enjoy our panel session too.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay,
Thank
and
you.
all right, thank you so much. You said you're a geologist, Ma. Okay, this question said, thank you, Ma, for the teaching. You said you're a geologist. How were you able to kickstart a career after your education as a beginner? Coming from Jason.
Okay, that's my personal experience now he's asking for. When I finished, I went for service, and then in my service here, I was teaching, although my PA was in the water resources environment, but there was not much job there. So I engaged myself in private teaching. I was teaching them sciences in that school and geography as well. And then when I finished as well my service, I came back and I started teaching geography in a school because that's the closest subject to geology in quotes in the secondary school, or the need that they had at the time, because physics is also close to it. And as I was doing that, my then head of department asked me, in fact, I was still serving when he asked me to submit my papers, my application, and I did. So after my service year, in the following year, I guess, I got the offer to teach in the high institution in geology department, where I started as a geography teacher in the secondary school. So that was how I charted my own path. And then for some others, like I have some of my students that I encourage to let them go and learn softwares in geology, geological softwares. And then when they finish, they started using those softwares to solve people's problems. So if I know you have a need for this, I will just refer you to the person. And gradually, they started building their own. They did a higher program, master's program, and they have their own organizations at the moment. So it's different things for different folks. The way I started may not be the way you start, but definitely there will be a way out if you're focused.